Hello, oh dear ones. Welcome to the Creators of the Future workshop here on YouTube. For those of you who have bumped onto this video the first time, I will welcome you to the Creators of the Future. This is a 52-week workshop where I put strategies, where I put assignments and to-dos and sometimes just general random messages which will help you stay on track of your goals, where I can be your support system, where I can hold your hand no matter what happens in your day, no matter how difficult things seem, or no matter how big your victories are that you cannot share with others. You can share all of that here in the comment section while I am your coach, overviewing all of them and helping you on a weekly basis, Friday to be specific. So we are on week 38 and welcome to my live audience. Thank you for coming. It adds a lot of, I would say, responsibility to deliver this workshop, which would not have been there if I was just doing it in the corner of my study. So what this week? This week the session is about mathematics. It's about doing the math. Look, everything on planet Earth is a number game, right? The life of the planet is a number, and even that number you can break it down into smaller units and fractions, and then still in the end you get a number. Now let me tell you, numbers are very powerful. Somehow the entire universe, the entire planet and everything contained in it is orchestrated with this sequence of numbers. Change one number and you will change that world, you will change the planet, you will change your life. Okay, now look, you got two eyes, right? Change the number, add or subtract, and you are no longer going to be the same person. Your life will change to a greater magnitude than the power of that one omission or one addition that you made. Yes, if you have one blockage in your artery, your life is going to change, and not only that, it's going to impact the lives of others who are around you. So the sequence is crucial. Now look, my number is 9821211221. Yeah, now generally when I say this, people don't catch it enough, but I forgot you could replay it here and get it. Okay, so never mind. My number is 9821211221. Now drop a number. Will you reach me? No. Change a number. Will you reach me? Yeah, jumble the numbers. Will you reach me? No, it's a number game, and somehow your destination or your goal needs that exact sequence, that exact setting, and that is my challenge for you today. Do the math. So no matter whatever goals that you have made for yourself, you can break it down into numbers, right? Whether it is income is numbers. Even if you had a fitness goal, that also has a number on it, right? How many kgs do you want to lose? How many grams do you want to lose? Anything that you want to buy is also a number. In fact, today people can even quantify emotions. Even emotions form a number. I'll give you an example. For instance, you tell your boyfriend, I love you. Then he says, I love you more. Hey, you just quantified love. You just had a comparative quantification. I love you more. My niece told me, Priya, I love you 6 million. So I told her, Arya, what does that mean? She says, that means I love you a lot. Yeah, so everything is a number. Now, you have to see that every number about your life holds a magic of future prediction, and that's what I'm going to ask you today to get good at. Now let me give you an example from the life of a salesperson, and I already questioned you and quizzed you before, what do you do? So Kashish said he is an investor, and I said no, you're a salesperson. You have to sell people the idea to hire you as an investor. So we have Vikas here who's a banker, and I said, oh, so you're into sales, you're not a banker. And then when I asked Nisha, what do you do? She promptly said, I'm in sales. Yeah, let's just cut everything short. So now when I ask people, what do you do? I'm in sales, including Sudhir, who's now suddenly in sales. Yeah, so this video on the number game is dedicated to the salesperson in you, because it does not matter what you are doing, you are selling. Even if it is selling the idea to your boss that I'm the best, so please keep me. So let's say you're a salesperson, and by now I think I've convinced you, you all are salespeople only. All right, now you have a goal, right? Each one of you have a goal. So let's say you're a salesperson and your goal is to sell 22,000 units of whatever you're selling. I kept 22 because that's how I can do a per day 1000. Yeah, so whatever that number means to you. So you have to sell 22,000 units in a day, and your modus operandi, your strategy can also be broken down into numbers, right? So let's say your modus operandi is to make calls, to send out emails, to do follow-ups, and let us say to go for meetings. Itna hi hota hai na sales mein? And everyone is nodding their head. Good. So if this is what your modus operandi is, now let's see, you're doing a math. You say, okay, I'm going to make 10 calls a day. I'm going to send 10 emails a day and 10 follow-ups and 10 meetings, and then you are expecting an outcome, correct? It's numbers. If you do this, then you get that. If you pay this amount of money, then you get the car. So the numbers are if and then. If you don't pay that money, then you don't get the car. So if you do this, your expectation of achievement per day is 1000 units, because if you're working on a 5-day week, then that's how you make 22,000. Got it? No matter what your career is, no matter what your profession is, you can break your daily productivity down to numbers, and you should. This is where maths comes handy from school. All right, now let's say our good salesman Vikas, all right, he goes out in the day. I can take your name, right? Yeah, okay. Now Vikas spends day 1, he makes 10 calls first day, he sends 10 emails, he does 10 follow-ups, and he goes for 10 meetings, maybe a few numbers here and there. Aur mila kya? Kuch nahi. Can it be? Does it happen in your day where you did the job but the outcome was nothing? All right. Now day 2, he does the 10 calls, 10, you know, missed out on a few numbers. Now day 2, he got nothing. Can it be? Yes, I'm going to write it in red, so it's here. Third day, he does the numbers, but they're not adding up to the outcome. Has it ever happened with you that the numbers have failed you? Now, day 4, he does the exact same thing, and now he hits jackpot and he has 1000 units. That's his first victory. Day 5, nothing. Now, before you get upset with yourself and say, oh, nothing is working, don't get upset. Don't carry emotions into mathematics. It's very practical. Look at this and you understand the magic this number game holds. Can you decode it? तो अब इतनी बात clear हो गई है that if you make 50 calls and 50 emails and 50 follow-ups and 50 meetings, you get 1000. That's what you got, right? Which means if this is what you do, you can predict. You know, when you go to the astrologer, he'll ask you date of birth. He's writing numbers. He's not even writing your name perhaps. He's writing the total of your name. It's all in the numbers. It's not in the stars. You know, there was this book. It's all in the stars. What's that? Fault in a star. Fault in a star. There's fault in the numbers. The stars are all right. Okay, so you got it that if you do this, you're going to get 1000, which means you predict now. This is Vikas's journey on a daily basis. How much is he going to achieve at the end of the month? In 1 week, he's getting 1000. So in 4 weeks, he's going to get 4,000. He's going to get 4,000 at the end of the month, and then he'll say, oh my God, I don't think I'm good. I don't think I'm cut out for this. Now here is the thing. If you have understood that it takes 50, 50, 50, 50 to get 1,000, itni to baat samajh mein aa gayi, right? But look, where did this 1,000 crack? What was it in the call? Was it in the calls? Or was it from the email? Or was it from the meeting? Or was it from the follow-up? Perhaps you won't know, because maybe one guy you called, you emailed, you followed up and you met. You do not know. And that is the game. That is what you have to decode. So what I'm going to ask you to do is this, that whatever your numbers for the day, you crunch them. Which means if you have understood that these are the numbers that get me to do one now, next day, next Monday, how many calls are you going to make? 50. How many emails are you going to send? 50. How many follow-ups are you going to do? 50. I don't know if you can do 50 meetings, if that is even possible, but your attempt is going to be to reach these numbers. Now look, here is where the law of physics comes in. You know, when you crunch something, it gets power. Did you know that? The harder, the tighter you crunch something, it has that much more power, which is bigger than the power of the whole. Let me give you an example. Have you ever eaten rubbery? On the kulfi they put the rubbery. You know, that one little cup of rubbery has more power than 1 liter of milk, which it was made out of. Did you know that? It'll do more damage on your heart than that 1 liter of milk could have done. It has that much potential. You know, a diamond is made out of coals. You put 1,000,000 pieces of coal together, it still does not equal to the potency or the brilliance of one diamond. Got it? So when you crunch it, there is an explosive value in it. So if you do these numbers, you know what is going to happen, and I'm going to guarantee you this with my life. Okay, before you get up and you say, oh, but I can't do these numbers, I'm already making 10 calls, and then my mother-in-law calls me, then my boss is a jerk, then there is no time, then my health is bad, then the trains are late, then the flight is late, and then, you know, my colleagues are insane, or whatever your excuse is for not hitting this, because sometimes it looks overwhelming. My suggestion to you is this. You know, you guys have made a vision board. If you're a part of my workshop, you've already made a vision board. My suggestion is, in the vision board, no, in the center, whatever you have put, remove that, put it on the side, and in the center put a mirror. Now stand in front of the mirror and tell me exactly what you were going to tell me in these complaints. Oh, but my boss is a jerk, but you don't understand, and so on. Have you ever looked at yourself complaining? Have you ever seen your face? Yeah? Have you ever seen somebody complaining? What do you want to do? You want to run away. Yeah, and never meet that person for 2 weeks, because they are so heavy and negative on pulling the excuses together. So in the middle of that vision board, you stick a mirror, that if this is what the numbers are telling you and you don't want to do it because of what, come on, rant it all out. And I will tell you with my life, you will stop your story in exactly 6 seconds. Try once looking into the mirror and complain. Then don't complain to me, complain to your own life, complain to your own goals, complain to your purpose. So you crunch the numbers, and you know what's going to happen? By the time you finish week 1, how many calls would you have made in week 1? Come on, 250, right, on a 5-day week? You make 250 phone calls in a week, you send out 250 emails in a week, you call up 250 people on a follow-up and do whatever meetings that you can. You know what? You will discover a genius in you. You will crack a code. There will be something that you will find, aha, this is how I talk to people, or this is what is coming at me. You will decode something, and when you decode something on a call, and by the way, that code is not on the 40th call, it is not on the 60th call, it is perhaps on the 215th call that you will understand. Has it happened with you that you went so far and then you got it? You know, when we look for a name for the book, we write 150 names. Every book that I have put out, there are 150 names I write. And you know what? While I'm writing the book, I've already thought of a few names, that this will be the name. And when I'm writing the 150 names, guess what? The ones that I thought of come in the top 5, obviously, because that was at the back of my head. And the names that have gone on my book are after the 80th number, which means that the brilliant titles that you see were found after 80 titles that I already wrote. There is a code waiting for you at a little depth. It's a challenge, it's a treasure hunt. It's how deep can you go? Because a lot of people fall out here and they say, I don't get it. But you finish, and finish it fast. It's not about making 250 calls in a year. It's not about making 250 calls in a month. It's about making 250 calls in a week, when you will get it because you're in the zone. If you spread it out, you've had the time for distraction. You've had the time for the sand to slip away from your fingers. But when you crunch it, you're doing nothing but that. You're doing nothing but that. If you want to finish 50 calls in a day and your friend calls, you'll sell him also the stocks, yeah, because you want to complete a number. And when you crack that code, you know what, that code is going to flow power into your emails. Now this will become even more magical than it was before, and then you will crack a code here, and then in your follow-ups these two are going to add something brilliant and you will crack a code here, and then every meeting you go for, it's done. But that happens when you take this quantity and you crunch it. Try it. See, what have you got to lose? I'm here week by week. You're also here week by week. Put on the comment, Priya, hey, what you said on week 38 does not work. I want to hear it from you. Tell me it doesn't work, but don't not make it work. Don't not give it a chance. And while I say all of this, I know it's already ticking in some of your minds, but you know, quantity, in that quantity we lose quality. Excuse me, what are you talking about quantity and quality? Let me tell you this. Let's say your father needs a heart surgery. Which surgeon will you take him to? The guy who has 20 years experience, quantity, versus the guy who's only done 2 surgeries. Where will you take him? You're looking for that quantitative experience, yeah. If you want to hire a speaker and there's a speaker who's done 20,000 workshops versus somebody who's done 20, who are you going to hire? Who are you going to put your money on? The guy who has quantity on his side, right? You want to hire a salesperson, one guy tells you I sell 2,000 units a month, another guy says I sell 20. Who are you going to hire? The guy with the quantity. Okay, I'm just going to turn this. Look, quantity comes from quality. How can you dare to put out so much if there was not quality in your job? It's the most misunderstood thing. Now the heart surgeon couldn't have done 20,000 heart surgeries with 20,000 people dead. It would have stopped on the second one, right? Quantity also is suggestive of quality. Not all the times. Of course, there are exceptions, but let me tell you about that, because quantity has to do with ability. How much can you do? That can is an ability. The quality is an attitude. It has nothing to do with quantity, because I know people, and look at the experts and legendary people, you will find both. You will find quantity and you will find quality. I don't know one legendary person who gives you quality and no quantity. How could he have made it big? It's an attitude and an ability, and when both combine, it's explosive. You become unstoppable. I'm going to put you on an exercise, oh dear ones in my live audience and the ones who are watching the video, is this. So first, I have given you some sheets of paper. What you're going to do first is you're going to write your goal. All right, what is it that you want to achieve, and you have to put a number, because I'm going to ask you to do a math on your life. So put the number on your goals. Now write your modus operandi, which means what do you do? Okay, what do you do? How much do you do of what you do? Okay, so let's say you make calls. If that is what you do, is you make calls, then how many calls? A number. In how much time, which means how many calls a day, all right? And lastly, what is the outcome? All right, now if you do this exercise right away, and if you find yourself, I'm going to turn this here. So if you're doing the 10-10 game and achieving 1000, whatever these numbers mean in your job, whatever these deliverables are in your job, and if you're achieving 1000, then you don't need to go and ask an astrologer, mera kya hoga? Aapko yahi dikh raha hai, mera kya hoga? Right? Now, the true test is this. Let's say whatever your salary is, let's say 50,000, and you had 50,000 rupees in your pocket. Would you pay 50,000 rupees to the guy who's doing this job and getting this outcome? That's your litmus test. If your answer is no, you have to change your game as we speak, in this moment, in this second. Because if you're not willing to give the guy this much money, whatever money he's taking home, for this much outcome, whereas his goal is this, it takes no genius to get it. He's not going to make it. All right? My challenge for you is you are going to do more in the same time what you do. These numbers have to change drastically. Okay, now you know Milkha Singh, right? And there's a movie made on him. Now imagine you go to Milkha Singh, you go to his town and you ask him, sir, जब आप भागते थे आप दिन में कितनी प्रैक्टिस करते थे? And Milkha Singh tells you, बस आधा घंटा दौड़ लेता था. You won't believe him, right? Will you believe him? If he tells you the guy who broke a lot of records, you know, tells you आधा घंटा दौड़ता था, you'll start laughing. It's a joke. You know why it's a joke? Because the numbers don't add up. The outcome that he was getting does not add up with what he's talking. There's a joke, there's a lie somewhere. Now you look at the numbers you have written and find the joke. Because other people are certainly laughing, you have to laugh, look at this and say, ha 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 ha. इतना मिल रहा है तो कहाँ जाऊँगा मैं? कहीं नहीं जाऊँगा. My challenge for you this entire week is, if you have the guts, if you're really serious about the goal, because somebody is achieving it every day, double the numbers. Can you do that? What kind of alignment will it take to change this? Because when you double, triple and do the numbers 10 times, and look, it's not a permanent feature. Somewhere you will get that code which is going to apply at a genius level, where every call you make you're going to get 1000, where every meeting you go for you will get 22,000. But wo kahan se aayega, kab aayega? When you're in that zone cracking it, what have you got to lose? I think nothing, because you haven't got what you wanted. As it is, you have lost, right? As it is, it's a losing ground. If you have not reached your goals, you take a shot. So since we're talking about numbers, my 9th book, number 9, is out into the market, and we have a number on it. And because I have a modus operandi, how much time, I am using every platform to say this is a great book. The wise man said, if you've liked any books of mine, you're going to love this one. And look, I don't like to waste people's time, because I don't like to waste my time. So if you don't like it, you send it back to me. You can keep the free quotes book that I will send you. And by the way, when you pre-order, this is only for pre-orders, you don't get this later, you get a free quotes book of The Wise Man Said, and if you order 5 copies, you get a Super Wise Man Said motivational poster. But that is applicable only for pre-orders, so please buy as much, gift as much, because it's all a number game. So I hope you enjoyed this. Until next week, stay tuned and stay on track.